But there are some things that only law can do. We need authority for coordination and for protecting of persons. We need authority to restrain or punish the unjust. But we also need authority to coordinate people who mean well but need to prioritize projects and work well together. In any complex society, we're not going to have unanimity. You're going to need someone to say so to get things to flourish and to promote the common good in ways we couldn't otherwise, right? And a wonderful tool for that is a system of positive law, of deciding how we are going to do things around here with respect to these, with respect to these particular subjects. Now, there's a couple of features that are necessary for law to work or for positive law to do its job. And one feature is a relative, and a lot turns on relative, a relative isolation from all things considered reasoning, right? So Thomas and all the natural lawyers will talk about, look, there's two ways in which the natural law relates to human law. One is by the process of derivation, and one is determination. Derivation is more or less when you're kind of reading off the natural law to make human law. Laws against murder, rape, theft, all those other kinds of things, right? Where we basically kind of bring down the natural law from to the code book and implement it and give it force in society. The other is determination, where when the natural law speaks in a generality that reasonable people can disagree on, but we need to make some sort of choice and have those choices cohere with other choices, and they could have been otherwise. But we need to choose. The hackneyed example is what side of the road we drive on. But it can be more complicated things like marginal tax rates or things like that, right? But nevertheless, but even in the context of where we're deriving law, where we're kind of making murder laws or something like that, there's aspects of determination. What are our elements? What are our degrees of murder? What is the sentencing? What are the burdens of proof? There's a whole bunch of judgments in there that could have been otherwise. And even when we're engaging in determination, when we're deciding what our marginal tax rate is going to be or what side of the road we're going to drive on, we are deliberating and directed by the natural law. We care about traffic laws because we care about human safety. We care about tax laws because we care about fair distribution of burdens in society, et cetera, right? So it's more of a spectrum. But to the extent law engages in determination until it kind of renders the generalities of the natural law more specific, to do its job, it has to be relatively isolated from reasoning about what we would do in the first place. Determination by its nature could have been otherwise, if it's within the realm of reasonableness. And asking what I would do in this situation kind of takes away the benefits of having things determined authoritatively. I may want a 25% marginal income tax rate, and Steve may want 27 or 20, but we got to pick one and go with it, and we can't just be arguing about marginal tax rates, right? So so we need to be able to isolate the reasoning of the positive law to some extent for moral reasoning, for law to achieve its moral purposes of coordination that we get through authority. A second feature. And this is where, again, this is another area where I sometimes get accused of being a positivist. A second feature is to kind of understand determination, and for determination to do its work, we often have to go back to the origins. We have to decide what was determined at this particular point. What was the decision made when we were facing a wide menu of options and we needed to pick something to cohere well with other aspects of the law and decide what we're going to do here? I need to go back and find out what has been done. Otherwise, we're just kind of going through the process of determination all over again.